Hi, I'm Patty with StudioR12 Stencils, and now that we have painted with fire, I'm going to show you what you can do with it next. All right, you guys, I am super excited to show you what we've got next. So what's neat about this, we've stained this to seal in the black or the burning, and I did not notice that much or anything came off on my hands, so it's not like laser burning or burning with a wood burner. But the stain warms everything up and it provides a nice undercoat for you to do what we're gonna do next. So we're gonna put a pattern on here and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you can see this, if you're looking straight down, you can see that we've made some dividing lines. Here's some of the keys that you wanna remember is you want to bring your stripe out from your blue field. I'm gonna do a flag pattern here. So I've got a blue field here, and then I bring my stripe out from that, and then I evenly space all of the lines. So one thing to remember, probably a couple things to remember, is that you want to use the lines of the grain of the wood. These are a bunch of boards that are all sandwiched together. You want to use that grain to make your lines straight when you're laying out on your piece. So that's what I've done, is I've laid it out as straight as I could get it. And then what I did is I used my circle striping tool. It's designed to give you these etched round markings with subsequent round markings there. It gives you the dimension of what your round markings are. It gives you a straight across, it gives you a straight down, and then it gives you lines going across. So if I need stripes, I can get stripes. It's super exciting. Putting anything straight on a circle is so hard, especially more than one straight thing. I can take a T-square and go straight across. I'm good. It's gonna be straight depending on how I hold it, but this will give me my stripes, and this tool is so amazingly helpful. So I'm gonna show you how to use it. I'm gonna bring my project over here, and then what I wanna do at the top, I want to place something that's straight. So the grain, this is a straight board that's here, but this grain goes at a diagonal. When we read, we start at the very top of our book. We start at the top and we go left or right or whatever. So we are going to pick up that goes downhill really quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the straightest side and I'm going to flip it over. And that's gonna be my top. So that way when you're reading and you're starting looking at the pretty thing, because that's how we're trained from youth, we're gonna start from the left to right top and it'll be better. And when you get to the bottom, you won't notice. Okay, so we'll go here, grab our circle striping tool. This is our invention at our company at StudioR12. If you love learning new things, please make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell. And if nothing else, give us a thumbs up because that helps with that algorithm. The pesky algorithm. Okay, so I'm gonna put this at my 18-inch. This is an 18-inch circle. However, what I will say is this cups out on the edges, so it's not 18 inches at the flat part, it's 18 inches at the bulging part. So, and then I want to straighten it to my lines. So I'm gonna use my dots to find a straight that I like. And I'm tippy-toeing right here because this table is high. Check, check, double check a couple times. And then these little holes right here are taping holes. Okay, so you are going to tape right over this because if I don't tape right there, my whole circle will start shifting. Okay, so we want to have the taping holes. And now see how I can mush that around and it's super sturdy. So the taping holes are super key. Okay, now I want to get my Ghost Writer. This is a triple threat Ghost Writer, and this has got a gray ceramic lead, a roller ball with no ink, so you can trace patterns with it, and a white ceramic lead. I have to use the white today, so I'm gonna do white, and you just twist it. And we have a video, which you can look at on YouTube, and then it also has an eraser. But we have a video on how you reload these leads. All right, so I've got everything lined up, and now I've gone ahead and I pre-did this over here on this board. If you're doing it for the first time, then you can decide things and you can use this. The neat thing about ceramic lead is you can easily erase with your liquid. You can dip in your water, spit, not supposed to do that anymore, eraser, whatever you want to do, and it will not stain like a pencil will. So you can just go scribble a little line right in these dots and holes, and it will do a brilliant job of going away if you need it to. So I've marked on top of my Mylar the holes. And so I'll go in and just mark straight across. You don't have to mark every one. You could skip every other if you have a longer line. Now in the lighter areas, the white might not show up, so you might need to switch to your gray. Okay, so now we know that we're gonna go straight across here, and I am gonna go ahead and skip. And then we're gonna go here. So I did every other line, so I skipped for the bands, I skipped a measurement. And so the nice little mark on there is amazing. That lets me know exactly where I was. And so now I'll come down here. Then we come down to here. Now a couple ways that you can mark this. You can peel this away, and you can see I've got a lot of little white speckles everywhere. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna use the edge of your stencil, or you can use a T-square. T-square is also okay to use, so I can lay that across. Just give that a line. So now I've got that first line marked, or you can use the stencil. And so I can put this here. As long as I have 3 dots, I'm gonna be pretty well lined up. I'm going into the middle of my dots. So I can line that up, and then from here we'll move upwards. Don't you love crafting and painting? I love it. I got so excited when we were shopping for the things. So now my lines are just on one side. Okay, and now we go down the blue band. So this is the money mark right here, because this is what is hard to do. So you can go across with one band perfectly easily. You go 2 bands, you have now crossed the line too hard. If you go into a vertical and a horizontal band and you want straight, you have crossed into ridiculously impossible. So this is what this was invented to do, is to make all this banding, which is so popular right now, be easy to do. Okay, so we're gonna use our stretchy tape, which will bend if you let it. All tape will bend if you let it. And we are going to start with our blue, and then I'm going to talk to you about what this medium is. So we're going to tape our blue band. Now, when I tape the bands, I'm going to start by pushing down on one end, and then I'm going to go connect my dots. Okay, so tape will absolutely bend if you absolutely let it. And if it starts bending, I give it a little pull. Okay, and then to cinch it down, you're gonna use the back of your thumbnail, and you are gonna just pinch that baby down right on the edge. You don't want anything bleeding under, and this new product is so cool because, and I'm not selling it or anything, but this new product is so cool because it's not wet. It's not a watery pigment. It's a actually thicker pigment. That's their new tagline is it's 5 times as thick. So wait till you see how this works. I was actually a little disappointed when I opened the can. I was like, ugh, this is gonna be like a solid pigment. It's gonna cover everything. And I was so surprised. It's amazing. Okay, we are ready to go blue. Okay, so the product that we're talking about, I'm gonna pull this out, and you guys are gonna listen to a couple minutes of a thing because this is amazing. So this is Minwax's Wood Finish. It's a semi-transparent color stain. Okay, it's got all kinds of other words on there. What I didn't know, and I got this from Lowe's, here in 2023, in March of 2023. I got this from Lowe's, and I didn't know this. You ready? This is the part that I didn't know. I didn't know they'd make it in all the colors. So you can go to the paint counter and you can get all these shades of stain. Amazing, like mind blown all the way. I went up there and it shows you a little example right here. So it's semi-transparent, and then this is an example of the solid. So we want this sheerness here, and we really want things that are not colored, if you will. So what I did when I did this is I got things like, I got a black, but I got a blue, a yellow, a red, a green, and something else. But I picked things that were as close to an artist's pigment as I could find, because you can mix them. And spoiler, they're water-based. So Minwax stains that I've used in the past have all been oil-based, and you can't mix those with water things. So these are all water-based, and you can mix them into any color. So whatever creative spark you want to give it, you can do that. So I am more, you can tell, I'm more than excited about this. So they have this guide at the store. So now we'll pull this back. Now, how are we gonna do this? So we're gonna take a blue, and I didn't like quite how blue this was. So I wanna mix it with just a teeny bit of black. So put a little bit out, a little of this. Okay, so watch that thickness. It's gloppy, okay? A little of this goes everywhere, a long way if you make a mess. So then I'll put a little teeny bit of my black out. All right, so we'll take some water and we'll put it off to the side. So what's neat about this is when you squirt, your water bubbles will get bigger and bigger as they attach to other water bubbles. It's super cool to be able to just wick up little bubbles of water. It is a wonderful technique if you're watercoloring or doing any of that. So we're gonna mix our blue with a little bit of our black, get a shade that we like, just a touch of black in there. Wipe that off. And it's water-based, so we don't have to worry about all of that. Applicator. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up many of those drops, and then I'm gonna smear it around just a little bit. See if I like the color. And then I'm gonna come over here. You don't want this sopping wet or to leak under your paint. So let's pick up a little bit more. And it's just going to tint. And now I'm out of the water completely. There we go. You want a tint of the color. You don't want it to be too harsh. Ooh, hi. Welcome to the party. Notice I'm putting my applicator down on top of the tape, and I'm not sweeping it towards the tape. Notice how sheer this is. It is letting all of that wood grain show through. And I'm just kind of applying to give myself enough of the color. You're gonna end up with a blue finger. So I was a little bit concerned that I wasn't seeing a blue enough tint. So I pulled my tape back, and look at how amazing. This is so good. All right, so we take this tape away, and now we have our blue field. Okay, so that is perfect. Now we're going to get this dry because I don't want to tape through this and peel off anything. I haven't actually taped on the wet paint to know, or the stain to know if it'll peel off, but other kinds of paints do. So I'm just gonna pretend like that's a rule. So I'll get it dry and then we'll come back. All right, so now it's time to do our stripes. I've got this blue band nice and dried, and we're gonna take our tape, and we don't need to tape off our white because the stained area that doesn't have the burning is gonna be like the ripply white of the flag. So we're not gonna do that, but the stripe underneath the blue is always white. So you know that the next stripe down is gonna be your red. And so you'll take your tape, make sure it's long enough, and you're going to tape the top of that stripe. use those dots as little touch points. And then you're going to kind of wrap that around the edge. Don't let it be on the ground because then it'll stick to the table and you won't be able to turn your board. And then you just go ahead and kneel on that with your thumbnail. And then you go into the next one. Okay, and give that a good scrapey. And then we can skip down to the next one and we'll just tape all of our red stripes. All right, so I have my red bands taped, and so now we're gonna put the red on. So we'll give ourselves a little bit of water. I didn't really need it on the blue, but I'll put myself out some just in case. So take our applicator, this is our brush today, and we are going to pick up a little bit of the water, pick up a little bit of our red. I always start off cautiously. I never start off by diving in the pool without knowing what the water feels like. So that's me. All right, so we'll go here. So this is our white band. So here's our red. That's not coming off as dark as I want. There we go. Is this not a lovely process? I love it. You could make it as dark or light as you want. If you watch the video of how we did the wood burning, then you can totally lightly do the wood and then just have a lighter color stain. So you can choose whichever level you want. Then I step back and I assess for evenness, and if I feel like I have anything sticking out a little bit, I can go in and give it a little bit of extra something. Okay, ready, reveal. Like it. Okay, so we take this guy off first. And then those guys. Ooh, it lifted my blue just a little teeny bit. So I'll show you what to do about that. And now we have red, white, and blue stripes. So on my blue, the curing time on this said it was going to be 24 hours. So I did blow dry it and the tape did lift up off of it. So what I'm going to do is feather in a little bit of blue with my dome brush. And I'll go in here and I'm just going to kind of eyeball that guy. And feather that back in while it's fresh. Okay, that makes me happy. There, okay. Oh my goodness, you guys, I love this. Okay, so instead of putting just white stars on here, I wanna this is my white, and so it's reading like a yellow color. So 79 and number 8, and I'm gonna mix those two together. I think I'm gonna drag in just a slight bit of brown as well. So number 17, just to tone it down just a little bit. You don't want this color to be like at the party being like, hey, here I am. So just tone that back. Okay, so we'll take our stars. We have many sizes of these star stencils. This is STCL 6021. And now I'm going to lay these in here. I'm looking for straight. Tape in 2 places. I'm gonna tape in an area that doesn't have a lot of color. And then I'm going to dip into my color, offload. Let's do a little testy poo right here. We can take it right off with water because it is water-based. And then we'll peek. Okay, ready? La! I feel like that's about perfect. Okay, and the masker just helps you not go into the next hole on your stencil over. Beautiful, nice and faded. Nothing too bold, nothing too bright. And that is brilliant. Okay, so the next video that we're going to do is we're going to show you how to stencil on top of this. And I think that we're gonna call this a success.